welcome to the new comics review. We're going to be looking at the readings, comics from new and old, and talking about the discussion and a little bit of review. Whipping Nuts with our Sith for Life, and down below is JB.
Hello, JB.
Good. I'm not at home, so that's why my camera's off.
Not at home. Well, get
No.
home.
Not at home.
No, we're driving.
I got her with me today.
Trust me, he's not driving her now. That's weird.
The first comics review we're going to be talking about is an old crossover event from the 90s, Thor Blood and Thunder.
Thor Blood Thunder.
Sorry, my dog decided to go nuts when the show started. She's been sleeping all day.
Of course.
Eventually, Archvillain Comics will be joining us on these comic reviews, but he's working tonight. So, comic book shop owner should have some really good input on that. Let's really pull up one of the first books. One thing I noticed with the Blood and Thunder, what Sif pointed out too, is the fact the character designs are not set, especially for the Asgardians. They change from book to book, even within the same book. Especially for Sith, Lady Sith, her costume and look would change constantly throughout the story. It was so drastic the first time they changed her, I thought it was a different character. Let's see if I can share to a different browser. Yes. We got the first issue was 468. Technically, it starts in 467. So you get a little bit of preliminary of the story in that issue, where it's kind of setting it up for his breakdown into madness. It's weird. JB left and came back, and I didn't add him back in.
He has superpowers like that.
Yeah, but the first run was like 468, and I wish they did stick with the character designs. Like it is jarring on that a little bit.
Yes.
And the artwork varies wildly between each issue as well. You got completely different styles of artwork.
Yes.
And
I found myself more enjoying the Silver Surfer books than any of them, art-wise.
Silver Surfer is I think the better of the artwork in all the different books. I agree with that. And that era of Silver Surfer always had really good art. Let's see. Pull up the reading order. Sorry, everyone. It's like I should have had all this in. This is our first show of this.
Mm-hmm. We're missing half the crew.
And very much so. Matt's working. JB's going on a road trip, apparently.
He's going to crash that new car.
Yeah.
Dude, he's not here for me to show up. He's not even here for me to show up the Duke that he got.
Oh, he actually showed up.
It did. The packaging is torn up, but, it's neither here nor there. I don't care about packaging.
These are the books within the series. They were 13 issues total in Blood and Thunder. Like it said, technically it's 14 with the for Thor 467. But the premise of the story is Thor is basically the antagonist in the entire storyline. He has gone crazy, gone mad. The cause of his madness is what Odin has done to him for punishment over the years, for his arrogance and everything. He's bound them to human Donald Blake. Basically, what Thor keeps saying, he's been rendered to bits and pieces. And that's basically what he was. He was basically, his autonomy was taken from him. He could not function on his own without the actual being bound to the mortal, and it was only released when times of need. So his existence became a shell, which you think about, that would drive people crazy.
Yeah. I mean, Odin basically gaslit him into being six different people.
Oh, and Thor, Odin is shocked when he renders. He figures out he caused this.
Like,
he was the reason for the madness. It's like, yeah. It's like, I did this to him.
I'll write that down so I don't do it next time.
Yeah. But the prologue, they call this a prologue, but 467 is really the prologue. Because they introduced his psychosis, his madness actually manifests as a different personality inside of his head.
Mm-hmm.
A character called the Dark Valkyrie, the Valkyrie. It's not the Valkyrie we know from the comics, but it's actually Valkyrie in his mind. It's his madness manifested his personality, who I don't know if it meant for this to be what it is. Like, his irrationality and madness is a woman.
Wow. Thor imagined himself a hot goth girlfriend, so.
Yeah. Pretty much. And she was kind of real for a little while, too. With the storyline, too, starts out like it crosses over into, like we said in here, with the Thor, Silver Surfer, Warlock Chronicles, and Warlock and the Infinity Watch. Which the Infinity Watch, all the different members has a different Infinity Stone, which comes into play in the storyline too, like multiple times where they.
Yes.
On the first bouts, he comes up with the fights Beta Ray Bill, and like you said, mainly Beta Ray Bill, and nearly kills Beta Ray Bill until Silver Surfer interjects, and then he fights the Silver Surfer, nearly kills the Silver Surfer.
Yes. That was Thor getting one of the Infinity Stones really threw me for a. It seemed kind of pointless.
And that was before he got the Infinity Stone. He was
up. After he got the Infinity Stone, it was like, well, he was already beating everybody.
The madness made him stronger.
So what was the point of him getting the Power Stone? I was just like, I mean,
it's basically like
it didn't make it
made everybody go, difference. Oh damn, that's a run, which they did.
We were already all going to be dead. Now we're just going to be dead faster.
He fought the Warlock, and Warlock stepped in like to help save. He helped save Beta Ray Bill and Silver Surfer different times. They revealed too, like when using the Soul Gem that Warlock had, he bonded his soul with Silver Surfer, and he actually was able to control the Silver Surfer's board, which is a neat little aspect.
Yeah, I like that.
But before he engaged Thor and to help Surfer, he told Pip to tell the Infinity Watch, wait for his call. He will call them when needed. And of course, he gathered all the Infinity Watch together, and of course, he didn't listen and said, we need to go help him now. And they go, after Silver Surfer and Adam Warlock's running away, they transport to him and immediately get their asses handed to them by Thor. Drax, this is the dumb Drax, the big dumb Drax that's been basically brain dead, revived. Yeah. He had swallowed his Infinity Stone, the Power Stone, because he thought it was candy. At one time, before the storyline started. Thor actually hits Drax so hard, he barfs it up. And at the end of the fight with the Infinity, well, during the Infinity Watch too, to back up a little bit, with the Moon Dragon uses her Mind Stone to try to cure Thor's madness. He is a little vegetable for a second there, like drooling, but the problem is her blast gave substance to the madness, the Valkyrie, then everybody's like, "Do you see her?" We see her because everybody can see her even without the mind with the Mind Stone. So,
Wait, she's fake, right? Wait.
and of course, Pip is like the pervert as he is. He's like, I wouldn't mind hitting that.
I found Pip awfully annoying. Every time he was on screen, I was like, here we go again.
Like, he's like the trademark generic annoying character from the 90s type thing. The 80s and 90s, they put like the sidekick character.
I was like, this is like, if Mixius Pitalik was a little bit more annoying, he'd be Pip.
If he's a drunkard womanizer.
JB said he's back.
Oh. Are you back?
Yeah, I'm here.
I want my baby back, baby back, ribs.
But at the end of that storyline when he was fighting the Infinity Watch the first time,
you changed.
You have changed.
Keep it up.
He does hit Drax hard enough to cough up the Power Stone, and at the end he picks up the stone and puts it on his helmet, and already, like you said, already madness boost. Then he gets the Power Stone, which makes him infinitely strong. Did you read it, JB?
I read it. I even saw like a full story recap on YouTube as well. Just
so you didn't read it.
You didn't read it. You watched the recap.
No, I read it.
Yeah,
I read it.
How many issues? How many of the issues did you read?
How many issues did you read?
I read at least the Thor comic, so I missed the majority. Then I watched the recap to finish.
You're totally lost then, because there was like 4 issues in between each of the Thor books.
Yeah.
JB, you watched the movie to fill out the book report in high school, didn't you?
I guess.
Hey, I remember going to the library and renting a movie based on the book. I think at the time, like nobody could ever get The Great Gatsby because they were always checked out.
Yeah.
But the whole, like I said, the whole premise of the story is where he is just going crazy from everything that's Odin done to him. But plus the add on the effect too. If it's true warrior's madness, Asgard has laws set up where there's 2 punishments for it, depending on the severity of the madness. Either banishment from Asgard forever, or death. So Sith is actually kind of basically working behind the scenes to thwart the Infinity Watch, who's trying to cure Thor, because they want to go tell Odin and get Odin's help. She don't want that to happen because she's afraid what will happen to Thor by the Asgardian laws. Which she's kind of one of the antagonists of the story as well, because she gets the trolls in Asgard to attack the Infinity Watch, and they beat their asses and imprison them. Going to kill them. Will sacrifice them. And she didn't care.
No.
She just did not care.
I gotta keep my betrothed's alternate identity or alternate personality a secret.
Yeah,
any cost.
His malady a secret. They will use that word a lot in the storyline. Malady.
His milady kept his malady in a secret.
So it is definitely a product of its time, but I still enjoy the story. I enjoyed going back rereading it. It was going back to I forgot Doctor Strange was part of the story. They go to Silver Surfer and Adam Warlock go to Strange to seek his help, which Adam Warlock has an ulterior motive the entire time too. He wants all these powerful entities to owe him favors.
Yeah.
See, he is basically conniving and at the same time is he not really true and being altruistic. He is got his own ulterior motives.
What can I get out of this?
Exactly. which is a neat dynamic. They're definitely building up.
By JB.
You know, hello, JB. No, hi, JB. He popped in for a second and went back out. But the story is overall enjoyable, but I think the ending felt a little odd, though.
That's one of my notes I had written down. Was
felt
it just
odd.
me, or we never saw Thanos actually trap Thor? They were fighting him in one issue, and then the next issue he was in that prison cube.
No, he shoots him. He shoots him with that gun.
I could not find it. I was reading like the next to the last issue
I think it
has them
was.
fighting, and then I don't know if I was missing some of the pages on the one I was looking at or what, but it seemed like it went from they're fighting to all of a sudden Thor is in a cube, and I was like, wait. And I went back and I checked it 2 or 3 times, and I was like, what is going on here?
Let's see. I think it might be. It's either. No, it's not that one. Let's see. Silver Surfer, I think.
Yeah, I think Silver Surfer was next to the last. Because the very last issue starts with him imprisoned in the cube.
One thing about this website's trying to find. They don't say Volume 3 or what it's should say. I should have had pulled up. Sorry, everyone. It's their first show of this.
There was a 1988 Silver Surfer there.
88.
88 with as what's his name on the cover? I think that's it.
It's Room, Weapon Zero, Dangerous, Warlock.
Silver. I think it's that one there was. Yeah.
There we go. Number 88.
Blood and
Yep,
Thunder,
this is
Part
the
10.
And
I did like them bringing Thanos into it. That was fun.
yep, and I did not remember he's part of the Infinity Watch. He has the reality stone. And it starts out film just clobbering Thor. This is a Power Stone powered up Thor.
Yeah.
And
I as much as I enjoyed, like, reading the story was fun, but seeing all the old ads was great too.
oh yeah, I've seen the old ads. It's a throwback. This was a long ad here. It's like, look over. No, it's not. It's still going. Thanos basically fights Thor. He's enjoying it for a good while. He just gets bored and says, I'm done with this. He walks off and gets his gun, his force gun. He's like, I'm weary of this, and just walks off. Thor's like, oh, you're a coward. Or run from me. Like, no, he just said, I'm tired of this. So this is where he shoots Thor. He says, no, I told you I've grown weary of this. I would be done with it. That's where he shoots Thor.
But
You must have stopped the ad.
yeah. So for some reason, that other part of the comic, when I read it, was cut off because I went to the end every single time, and this part I did not see.
And he points the gun at Silver Surfer, but he's actually bluffing because the gun can only hold one charge.
Yeah.
And he just teases the Surfer, and then it sets up the next issue where they try to fix this Thor's madness with technology. He does reintegrate the Valkyrie, deportalizes her, and reintegrates her into the actual psyche of Thor, which is basically setting up. But using the Power Stone, he overloads the technology and it blows everything up. And the force field is only going to hold for 3 hours. The force cube.
Yeah.
So they have to go to Asgard.
And then they panic and like, oh, let's go do the thing we should have done from the get go.
Yeah. It's like, oh my god, we're actually talking about Blood and Thunder.
Well, I tried to get him to let us play some Left 4 Dead while we were doing it, but he said no.
Where's Matt for this? It's like, well, Matt's working. He was working today, so he's probably asleep.
He hasn't. Surprisingly, it's one thing that that JB has done more is read Blood and Thunder.
JB at least read 4 issues. Didn't like cheat it and then watch the book report. But like you said, the artwork in Silver Surfer is just some of the better art in the storyline. And who is the artist on this book? It's always irregular where they put the artist and writer and stuff.
It is.
You gotta scroll through it sometimes just to find it.
As long as it wasn't Tom Grindberg, I don't know. There might be fans of his artwork, but that first Warlock Infinity Watch number 23 was a tough read for me.
Yeah, that was definitely this is the Dark Valkyrie, his madness personified.
Yeah, his big titty goth girlfriend that he imagined.
This is his imaginary girlfriend.
And Sif was like, "Really? You replaced me with your own imagination?" I screen shared one of my my favorite panel from his entire run. Look what they did to Thor.
That's the Infinity Watch issue too.
Yes. Look how they massacred my boy. That is haunting.
It's very extremely stylized.
Yeah.
To say the least.
Stylized can be a good thing.
Yes.
This is one of those panels that's so bad that I like it. I want an action figure of this exact moment in Thor. Look at his hand. Tom Grindberg was really like, I've seen a thumb before. If it was made today, you would say, "Oh yeah, that was AI generated."
Well, the thing too but the same artist, his Kirby Crackle effects and all that stuff, just absolutely gorgeous. But the characters are
just that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I specifically saved that for this. I was like, I gotta screenshot this.
I don't blame it. It is definitely something. It's like they change artists in like the Infinity Watch too. The last issue of this crossover, that's the Infinity Watch, is a different artist and had a great fight between Odin and Thanos.
Yeah.
Again, the character designs for the Asgardians change all the time through the series. I love how they drew Odin in this book in the issue, I think issue 24. He's wearing like red and gold, and it's really cool looking.
It looks better than he did in that first Thor issue where he's got the horns. I didn't really. He's got like
There's a picture, and there's the Silver Surfer.
Oh yeah, there he is. There he is with Cowboy Pip. Yeah.
It's definitely an odd style.
Silver Surfer's looking a little bit more like
a really good background artist, though.
Yeah.
The effects and there's way he does the Kirby Crackle stuff. That is gorgeous.
Silver Surfer looks a lot like Iceman in this. Like he's got that angular.
Yeah, his art style is very angular, but again, the Kirby Crackle he does is just phenomenal. It's like, I love the effects he does. All this right here.
Yeah.
I think he would work good in a team with as a background and effects, and have no one do the characters.
Yes. That picture of Adam Warlock wasn't too bad.
This one.
That one's not too bad. I dig that art, but
This one I really like this picture here. From this waist up. When you get to the legs,
so when you get to the knees and the legs, those are some big boots.
Yeah. But if you cropped it like here, it's great. This
gives me
this
Star
is
Wars.
pre-Power Stone too. This is kicking the Silver Surfer and Adam Warlock's butts without the Power Stone.
Yeah, he was cakewalking everybody without the Infinity Stone.
This is setting up a future storyline too, like with Adam Warlock, but so it doesn't really pertain to the actual Thor Blood and Thunder, but they put it in here anyway. So, not that one. This one had a different artist and really good art. This had the great art. So this is the look for Odin I really liked.
Yes, I like that Odin a whole lot more.
Got the red, the blues, and the golds all together. A very good look for all the different characters. Then with again, a different look for Lady Sif. But the rest of the characters stayed pretty true to their looks, except for Lady Sif. Her costume would constantly change. Odin's would change a lot too.
Yeah.
The final issue of Thor, he was not wearing a shirt. He was had armor over him. But great look for design for the characters on through this. The good action pack. This is the Infinity Watch and Thor. Thanos just showing up with Thor in prison. They thought they've captured him and doing bad things, and so Odin sends out the entire Asgardian army against them. So they go to. They're pretty well handling the Asgardian. They're getting overwhelmed at first, but then when Thanos is like, "Here, you watch the cube. I'll take care of things."
Yes.
And he just starts manhandling the entire Asgardian army.
It can't all be Thor.
That shows how powerful Thanos is. And he wasn't always just doing stuff to be evil. He was curious.
He was a mad scientist.
Yeah, which has kind of got a little bit of this look from the artist's drawing is like the 2-pack Thanos from the Marvel Legends. Got the longer horns, the bigger flares up on his chest armor. Maxim, they had a story, mystery for him for what they were dealing with it. Some of the two. He's from an alternate future where Adam Warlock's his evil half is basically conquered everything, and he was sent back to basically kill Adam Warlock. But something messed with his memories. He's got no record of it.
Yeah.
They deal with that too, some of the story too. They got a lot of different threads going on at the same time. They're talking about you got these main storyline, Blood and Thunder, but they're still setting up threads for future stories.
Gamora was fun in this. She didn't get a whole lot of screen time or page time, but I liked her in this. I liked Moondragon.
Mm-hmm.
I liked the collection of characters.
Yeah. It's a very good eclectic set of characters. It puts you in mind with their dynamic too of how James Gunn did Guardians of the Galaxy movies.
Mm-hmm.
They don't really get along, but they are friends, kinda.
Yeah.
Except
for Pip. I don't like Pip. I never liked Pip. Go away, Pip.
Pip's a jerk. He's trying to get him in trouble. Which he had a weird adventure with Maxim as he went to New York bar, which for some reason was a Western cowboy themed bar with a bunch of hillbilly hicks in it.
Yes.
If you're going to do that kind of story, why not go to a bar in, I don't know,
Texas? Oklahoma?
Texas or
New Mexico?
any southern place that has cowboys? Not New York City.
And Pip, being the teleporter, should be slapped for that.
Yeah.
Could have gone anywhere.
Anywhere in the universe. And to go to a cowboy bar. He's not even from Earth. So,
Well, maybe that's why he doesn't know where.
I guess that is an exotic place for an alien.
Yeah, he doesn't know where. He doesn't know. He just probably stumbled upon it once. Like, oh, I love this place. Even though
I
he
did
didn't
a
know.
really good action scene in this. The whole battle throughout this book. They even fought the Warriors 3, Balder. So they actually start doing a good thrashing onto the Guardians until Thanos gets involved. Not Guardians. Sorry, Infinity Watch. I want to call them Guardians. Yeah.
Half the Guardians.
Yeah, because several members of the Infinity Watch are in Guardians of the Galaxy movie.
Including Adam Warlock.
Yeah, Drax is only getting overwhelmed because he feels guilty because he lost the Power Stone. He don't really even notice them like on all over. This is kind of the things too that come. That's for anything that we got the Drax figure and we got the Moonstone figure 2-pack.
Mm-hmm.
Moonstone looks terrible. The figure they use like a modern costume. They gave us a classic Drax. He looks good, but he's too small. He should have been like on the 80th anniversary Hulk body.
Yes.
The body they use is Caliban, and it's a phenomenal figure. But it's too small for Drax, the destroyer, in this form. It's weird having a Drax smaller than the Hulk when he's bigger than the Hulk.
Yeah.
It's like the Abomination. Abomination is bigger than the Hulk. He's in the comic. Abomination figure is smaller than the Hulk. And 2, we need more Asgardians.
Yes.
The Warriors
Asgardian troop builders.
A 3-pack, perfect right there. Warriors 3.
Yeah.
And Balder would be a great one too. Balder the Brave. The colors are kind of weird on this book too. Sometimes, like his outfit's purple. It's red and black.
He's a happy guy. He's happy-go-lucky right now.
And again, the look for Sif.
She is very, very concerned about Thor, but not concerned enough to not change costumes 6 times.
Yeah.
She's like, I may lose my beloved, but I'm not going to do it in the same outfit I wore yesterday.
The very first outfit, she's even wearing like a purple and silver outfit. Then she goes to like a white and purple. Then the purple parts of her, the white parts of her costume is skin tone and it's chrome. She's got brown hair instead of black hair.
Look at the face she's making in that top right panel. My goodness.
She got a giant head.
She got a 5 head.
It's like Thanos sees them getting overwhelmed and he just calls for Maximum. I need your assistance. Watch this. And I'm going to go take care of business. He starts plowing through the Asgardians. It's like this. What's up? You'll be taking modern authority Thor's imprisonment, but the battle merely keep the indicator within the red. Thanos will be more useful in this struggle than you, Maximum. Well, I don't know about that. And then just starts plowing over, and I could be mistaken.
Maxim, you've been benched.
Yeah, because having Maximum and Drax is kind of like same type of characters. You got two like this big, strong brutes. It's kind of redundant. Then you put Thanos in there. He's got like cosmic powers plus technology.
Uh-huh.
So he's much more. Wait a minute. I didn't catch this before. Like, Drax can shoot energy blast.
Yeah. You didn't know that? You call yourself a fan.
I forgot. I got folks on reading it, and I went and catch it. It's like, wait a minute. I don't remember Drax being able to shoot energy blast. Oh well, live and learn. But Odin's outside, like, with them getting overwhelmed, getting overpowered, he decides to take the field himself. He goes in to challenge the invaders, blast Drax right in the face. So I like this look for Odin with the red robe, the gold, the blue and the gold.
Yeah.
This looks so good. Then the final issue, his outfit looks absolutely terrible. It's in the Thor book, which is hilarious. Like in the Thor book itself, he looks terrible. Odin blasts Thanos right there, and he's not even budging. And then Thanos and Silver Surfer both try to blast Odin, and no effect. It kind of showed how uber powerful Odin actually was. He's knocking Thanos back. Eventually, at the end of the story, like Odin begins to realize they get convinced Odin, like, we're not here to hurt Thor or invade. We're here to seek your help, to help Thor.
And Thor was like, Odin was like, oh, why didn't you say that from the get-go?
But we tried, but Sif just kept screwing up with us.
I have to say, every time you say Sif, I feel like you're saying my name. I'm like, wait.
You kept messing with me.
I didn't mess with nobody.
Odin calls upon his staff and blasts Thanos like a huge, massive blast. And Odin celebrates it. Well, this is over. Thanos is defeated, and Thanos is like, "What'd you say about me?" He gets up, and is like, "It ain't over." He's blasting Thanos right in the face, and he's walking toward him, and he grabs the staff, which shows just how strong Thanos was. During this, the big explosion, Thanos is on the ground. He's like, "Oh, do you yield, villain?" No. Well, this is when Sif finally decides to intervene. He's like, wait.
It's not my fault.
They're not bad guys. They're here to help. That could have been done way early on in the story, but she just kept messing with them. She was to the point where she was like a villain.
Sif, you were the antagonist in this one.
I learned it from you.
Should have known that Odin would have been soft and not banished his own son. There's nepotism at play. Thank you.
Okay. 1966 Thor. This is why.
Why indeed?
If you use this website for reading comics, definitely use Brave, because it's got a ton of pop-ups.
And definitely NSFW pop-ups.
And it's not good pop-ups either.
And they will pop up as soon as someone you don't want to see it walks in the room. That's when it will pop up.
Oh, yeah.
Like, no, I wasn't looking at that, promise. It was way worse. I was reading comic books on the internet.
Force 81 is the final issue of the run. Well, it's kind of anticlimactic a little bit too. It's like, it's when he was in prison. The reason why they went to Asgard and did through all that stuff, when they try to use technology to recombine the Valkyrie persona into his psyche, so they can basically cure him of it. He broke the machinery, and he tapped into the Power Stone while he still was in suspended animation. He overpowered his machinery, and it would take a couple days to fix the machinery. I think I said, and only got a few hours, so like we had no choice to go to Asgard to seek help. But he's clearly still mad in the force field. But when Odin enters his mind in the story, very much so. Very much so. But when he enters like Thor's mind, he's like sane inside of his head. When they tried to go inside of his head before, like Moon Dragon, he's crazy inside of his head. So it's kind of like the ending is kind of weird, it's anticlimactic. So this is like I said, we're constantly changing character designs for the Asgardians. This is Odin. We saw before, like completely different look to his face, outfit.
They needed a coordinator to be like, okay, this is what Thor looks like. This is what Odin looks like.
They should have a set design for all these characters, but apparently they didn't.
Silver Surfer should not look like Bobby Drake. Just put that out there.
And Lady Sif again. Before the previous issue, she was wearing chrome. This purple was chrome, and this was skin tone. Now it's purple and white. It's just changed constantly. And I think that's a different look for Adam Warlock too. He's not wearing his black outfit. And then here we go. Odin trying to cure him in his mind forcefully, but then they changed tactics. But it is.
Yes, they are NSFW pop-ups. We saw similar pop-ups during the toy chat last night.
We did.
We did.
I missed them.
They showed up unexpectedly, like they usually do.
Okay.
Something was popped up. The important thing is something was popped up.
The muscle figure.
The muscle figure. It was popped up.
That was so crazy because I looked at the pictures originally on Facebook, and none of that's on that Facebook one. When I was looking, they got better pictures here on Instagram. I was like, yeah,
real better pictures.
But this is all happening in Thor's mindscape. Odin is trying to go into his mind to try to fix the issues. It's kind of odd. It's almost like a physical manifestation of the mind, all this. But still, it's a sane Thor just chained up. That's not what we saw before inside of his mind. He was crazy in his mind. This is a remorseful, sad Thor. It's a weird contrast from the last time they were inside of his mind when he almost killed the entire Infinity Watch when they tried to enter his mind. To this.
Yeah. Now, this is the best Thor artwork of the run.
But overall, he ends up breaking his bonds. He fights the Valkyrie, which Valkyrie's look kind of changes too, through not as much as Sif's. But this is the manifestation of his madness. And she actually remembers being sentient and alive outside in the real world from the Mind Stone. And she wants that again.
Yes.
Which is kind of sad that never revisit this, because she'd been an interesting villain to bring back and actually have her be an autonomous villain outside of him. Been given true substance or something, like they could have done that later on.
Yeah.
Because she had a distinct different personality and a complete different persona that functioned at the same time as Thor. So, which is very odd psychic manifestation. But she was telling Odin like he has no power here, and this is her world, and Thor belongs to her, and she will not let him go. And they battle. Battle ensues. Thor ends up joining in to help beat himself. Yeah.
He beat the power of domestic violence. Wins again.
But at the end, she is defeated. His psyche is like restored, and Sif has changed her outfit again. She's now ditched her white bodysuit. Now she's
she wanted to match Valkyrie, Dark Valkyrie.
like, since you like the goth girls, skimpy clad goth girls, she dressed up as one. He gives the Power Stone back to Drax. Then Adam Warlock's like,
nope. You lost your privileges.
You're too dumb for this. But they're actually shining rock. They thank Thanos. Thanos is like, well, I suppose you. Obi-Wan Thanos was like, I suppose you do. But basically, happy ending at the end.
And then Gamora changed quite a bit from the last time we saw her.
Yep. Their looks here are kind of odd, especially Adam Warlock.
I don't dig the handlebar mustache on
Strange.
That's
He has, his head is like kind of floating. He has no neck.
Yeah. I feel like he should be saying brother.
But you notice Pip is staring right at the knockers.
Yeah. His face is as punchable as ever.
Yeah, he's like, yeah.
I know where I'm looking. I'm unashamed.
Then at the end, they set up for future storyline. End. Loki will not be a prisoner forever.
He will be. He's a prisoner of his own mind.
But overall, it's an enjoyable reread. A classic storyline.
Yeah.
It had some hiccups with. They did stuff just for storytelling, which made no sense, like the whole Sif trying to stop them and thwart them and stuff. That you can. I know the whole point is selling the books and stuff like that, and the crossover event. But you can eliminate the entire troll stuff.
It could have been one issue if Sif would have just gone to Odin.
It could actually been in the issue that they tell you don't even read for this, the 467.
Yeah.
It could have ended in this book because she's actually fights Pluto. She goes sees Zeus and Pluto because they know that Thor is fallen into madness.
Mm-hmm.
And she wants to stop Zeus from going to Odin and let him know that he's gone crazy. And at the end, she shows that Pluto was like plotting against Thor and Zeus and like underhanded stuff.
Yeah.
And so he agrees, I'll give you 2 days, blah, 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 before I will go to Odin and stuff. So it could have ended in this issue if she just went to Odin in the first place.
So
again, this is Lady Sif, and a completely different look again.
Yeah, I've never seen that costume before.
And we get her look was a little more consistent, but it changed a little bit. But it was funny. She's basically a one-off character for this storyline, and her look stayed more consistent than a established character.
Yeah.
I mean, when I read this book, it took me a second until they said her name until like, that's it.
So my overall thoughts were I liked the character compilation 99%.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
just not
Pip. Just not Pip. I don't know why, but for some reason I hated Pip. I feel like the story didn't come together very well. It felt disjointed at times. and again, the inconsistency art really made it kind of hard to follow. But
especially the Warlock Chronicles books.
It screams 90s, mid 90s comic books. That's like loudly. For good or for bad, it screams 90s comic books.
The character designs have changed so much since this era too. Like it's really one of the reasons it took me a moment to realize who these characters were. Like Sith doesn't look like this anymore, Bloody Sith, and they show Ares, and it's like, wait a minute, that's Ares? Right here, this is Ares.
The Mohawk
with the red tunic and the gold bits.
Because Ares needs a utility belt.
It's not the badass Ares from the early 2000s with the skull and crossbones armor and the Spartan helmet. Yeah, his Spartan helmet has the Mohawk.
Turns out it's not an addition, it's just to allow the Mohawk inside to have room.
He's got a buzz cut underneath, kind of like a buzz cut underneath that when he's in that newer look. But yeah, this entire storyline is basically sitting up where it's a kind of a prequel to the the prelude to the actual main story, setting everything up, because this entire dynamic here is Thor waking up basically in his own mind. His mind, kind of like a mind palace, whatever you want to call it. A construct of his mind where she is it's her domain. And there's actually like a symbolism too of him descending into madness.
Yeah.
Madness, where it's starting here, but we got here an actual spiral case spiraling down into madness.
It's a little heavy-handed for a metaphor, but you know.
Yep. She literally leads him down the spiral to madness. And next is Blood and Thunder. That's the reading order should really add this to that.
Yeah.
I think it helps with getting the understanding of the story a little more. There's a lot of dialogue just in this one issue.
Yeah.
But like I said, you said reiterate what you said is that overall I enjoyed it. It is very disconcerting, the different varying art styles, just drastically different. The two issues of Warlock and Infinity Watch ones, those were the ones with drastically different art styles. The rest of the art styles have matched up pretty good. They did.
Like I said, I like the Silver Surfer. All the Silver Surfer art was pretty good.
Yeah.
And that last Thor comic, I like Thor's
this issue of Thor and the last issue of Thor had the best artwork.
Yeah.
It's over. But it's a good read. It's good to revisit. But I think I enjoyed it. If you'd like to do this again, we can. You've already picked out the books we're going to do, right?
Yes, I've got one picked out. Share it. So the next one is going to be The Star Wars. It's a kind of a what if, but it's based off of the original rough draft screenplay for Star Wars. It uses a lot of the concept art, like early Ralph McQuarrie type stuff. So it has some similar names and characters, but they do not at all resemble what we end up getting in the movies. So it's eight issues. I think it came out in 2006 or something like that. I've read the first issue, but I've never read past that, so it'll be fun to go through and read it. That guy that looks like Zeb down there is Chewbacca.
Oh yeah, that's the original design for Chewbacca.
Uh-huh.
Zeb was based on that. But a lot of people don't realize Zeb's design was the original design for Chewbacca.
And I think that one on the left with that looks like Swamp Thing.
Mm-hmm.
I believe that might be their like version of Han Solo. So they're that it's a very interesting.
He's an actual alien. Which,
yes.
The one thing I've never have liked with Star Wars, they refer to them as humans. It's like, shouldn't they be something else? Because it's another galaxy far, far away and a long time ago. That thing.
Well, in Star Wars,
different word for them, or like
Earth does exist in Star Wars, but like it's like in a way far off, and eventually there was I think like a one-shot comic where Chewbacca and Han crash land, and Chewbacca basically becomes the Bigfoot, and Han Solo becomes Indiana Jones. But it was, I think it was like a one-off. I read part of it, but Earth does exist.
Oh, it's a good feel that you can do like the Battlestar Galactica reboot ending where they go to Earth and basically populate the Earth with themselves.
Or like my all-time favorite,
which to me is kind of racist that they're ending, because all the Asian Cylons where they're all look the same. It was like, oh, is that why they all? Yeah, because they all got the same DNA from Star Trek.
Well, there's a reason for it now. But yeah, I don't think it's any surprise that I chose a Star Wars comic for my.
What? Sith for life would choose Star Wars? After we do this with Star Wars, if nobody else picks anything else, I think that Future Imperfect would be a good one. It's just two books. They're longer words, so like a graphic. But it's great. Great writer Peter David passed away, and George Perez artwork. So it's two late greats did that book.
I love George Perez, man. Yeah. His work on Teen Titans is.
His artwork and Peter David's writing is just a beautiful combination.
Okay, so after that, we'll do all 144 issues of Invincible. Yeah, we have a week to get through it all.
Or if we want to, we just watch the book report like TV.
Yeah.
But what was a little easier on us, we can do the DC 52 series where it's 52 issues, so week, issue a week. I'm good on that.
We gotta. It's like Venom. You gotta like build up the tolerance slowly.
Yeah.
We gotta work our way to 100.
This was a little big one to start with the Blood and Thunder. So.
Yeah, it's 13 books.
But it's nice. They're easy to read. So.
Yeah, I read them in a day. So.
That's me.
4 weeks ago.
I read them last Saturday because I thought we were going to do this last.
Surprise!
Go up to
Left 4 Dead.
Left 4 Dead. But it's cool. When you get a chance, just send me the link. The link to this.
Yeah.
And I will start reading this one.
I have to start reading it. When do you want to do? Do you want it to be like a weekly thing? Do it every week, or
we can do it either bi-weekly, like since Matt's got a lull like in between his stuff.
Okay, that would work. That way we get a Saturday show every week. Having a Saturday show every week will be good.
Yeah, we do like a 1 week we do this, and the next week we do Matt's show. I think it'd be a good variation of the. Let's give us plenty enough time, like a 2 week period, to read what we're going to do.
Yeah, some of us need it more than others.
Yeah, so since we've been talking about this for like 3 months.
I read it like in the first week. Okay, I was prepared. I was like, "Oh, we're doing this." Let's do it.
Yeah, you were.
And no one else did it. I was like,
You were ahead of me when it was my suggestion. It was like, but I had a ball like getting caught up on this stuff. Like, it's.
I like this because there's a whole bunch of these storylines that I've never read.
That's a good thing too. There too.
The amount of comics that I've read is like that compared to everything else. So
I've read a lot, but I also forgot a lot of what I read. So, like I said, I have this entire Blood and Thunder in actual physical books.
Mm-hmm. I have quite a collection of. I've got a stack about that big of comics. I know that's not a big comic collection, but I have a whole bunch. I still don't read them, even though I have physical copies. I'm like, I don't ever pick them up. There's a whole bunch of them that are like, oh, I want to read that. Oh, I want to read that, and then I never read it. And I'm like, okay.
Well, I think that very well sums everything up on the show. We don't want to read them if we had a few more people show up.
If they could show up for more than 5 seconds of the
while driving down this road.
Yeah.
I don't like the idea of like doing stream driving. It's too dangerous.
No, that's a terrible idea, especially with the dog.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right, Sif. Thank you for coming in. And I think it was
Absolutely.
fun. It's like just getting here talking. We're just rambling like a. This is
Like
a
a
prototype show. We want to try this out. We've been talking about it for a while. So
Get to ramble on about comic books like a bunch of nerds.
I know it's like.
Where's my pocket protector and my taped up glasses?
Oh, I did put the Nautilus logo on Prime.
Nice.
I got the other KO coming, and like it's got the trailer and everything. They actually did upgrades. It's got like rid of the screw holes and stuff, and same size one, but it comes with everything and a lot more accessories.
Yeah. You have the
There you go. Don't stream and drive.
Don't stream and drive. Do you have the tracking info for that package you sent? Because
Was it not the?
it ain't showed up yet, but I haven't seen tracking number or anything.
I sent it to you on Instagram.
Did you?
Yeah.
That would probably explain it. I am really bad about checking Instagram.
I'll send it to you on Messenger too. There you go. You have my feed covered up with. I'm gonna be dead.
It's not my fault. I mean, it is, but
Happy Tabby Click. Hey, it's like my Blue X with Archville and Comics that does their unboxings for the comic unboxings. He'll eventually be joining us for these, but he was working tonight, so he couldn't join in. So
sweet.
He's
Insider knowledge.
He's got pretty good knowledge on this stuff too, like where he owns and runs a comic book shop. Madness in Los Angeles. The Escape from LA. Is there a comic book adaptation of that? Is that way so JB can watch it?
Yes. George, I agree. I definitely, that's one of the things we need to get into, some of the older Superman stuff.
Oh yeah.
My as much of a Superman fan as I am, my reading of Superman comics is pathetically small. So. Oh yeah.
Alright.
I was supposed to get your package today, but it got stuck in Sioux Falls, so it'll be Monday. It still says expected today, which is a lie. It's 6 hours away from here.
Liars!
So I'll be getting that, and then on Tuesday.
That way, been nice if you got it too. That way you could have been do some paint work on your John Hex parts.
Yes, I want to put some paint onto that. I want to
Plus
put
the Omni-Man head and Conquest parts.
I got that Tamiya neutral gray, so I'm going to be using that as a primer. Since I don't have to actually paint Conquest, I'm just going to primer him gray, so it's
nice.
His the colors don't show through his cloth suit, because I got the cloth suit for him, Omni-Man, and Invincible Order. It wasn't a second too soon, because they sold out in like an hour.
My Blue said he's digging the new Mark Spear Superman, Batman, Wonder Woman hollow cover. It's like a crossover, or like the Trinity book style book.
Like
I haven't been keeping up modern DC a lot. I used to collect Superman religiously.
I used to have a whole bunch of New 52 books.
The Brian Bendis, they brought him in, and he kind of ruined things.
Yeah.
Stopped collecting for a while. It's like they were threatening us, like with the Bendis is coming. It's like, are you threatening us? It's like he ruined a lot of stuff, in my opinion.
Well, everything modern comics has been ruined. So,
well, you took one of the best Superman writers ever off the book, who wrote The Death and Return of Superman, and wrote Superman for decades, and took him off the book to put Bendis on, who don't research anything about the character, makes anything immediately retcon stuff right off the bat. That's been well established for decades. And
I get sometimes you got to retcon things. You know, they want to be able to tell their story without constraints. But that's when it should be a new take on it. They shouldn't be the main line. Let the mainline guy be the mainline guy. Oh yeah.
If you want to do new stories, do this one-off stories. Don't put you want somebody who wants to overhaul the entire character on the main title.
Yeah.
I mean, stick to somebody that can stick with the source material better. But all right, I think that will wrap us up for the night. We're just past the hour mark. I think an hour is a good slot for this to talk about this one. Next time we're going to be talking about the Star Wars, and then 2 weeks.
2 weeks?
We got 2 weeks to read.
Sounds like a plan.
So everybody in the chat, thank you for coming to hang out tonight. This has been a little bit of a mess, but this is our first one.
It's the first of many. Okay, we'll have this figured out. In 2 weeks, guaranteed. Perfect.
Maybe JB won't be driving when he next time, and it'll be a lot safer. And actually read the books this time, not
read half of a third of them, and
be using the force while he's driving.
These are not the comic books you're looking for.
I don't know how many times we told him there's more than just those 4 books.
Yes. JB's going to be disappointed. He said he's getting back on in a few. We're just heading home. He's gonna come to a. You should leave the stream up just for him so he can join in.
I just won't leave. Let him try to come in. All right, guys.
All right.
Thank you again for everybody coming out, hanging out with us tonight. And we got the Whip It customizing stream tomorrow night at 8 o'clock. Wish Sith could have got his parts in so he could work on his Omni-Man and
I can work
and all that.
I'll be able to work on part of the well, I don't want to start doing the paint until I have the parts and get things fitted up and then start working on it. It's not as important this time because it's going to be covered up, so
alrighty.
Whatever.
But we'll catch you all tomorrow night, and in another 2 weeks we'll have another comics review.
Later.
I'll for that. We'll get you next time.
Ninja vanish.